exports, employment and rural development despite its relatively small direct share of national GDP. Ghana produces close to 700,000 tons of pineapple annually, placing it among the top producers globally. Cultivation is concentrated in key areas or regions such as the Greater Accra, Eastern, Central, and Volta, where both large commercial farms and smallholder farmers play active roles in the value chain. Although pineapple contributes less than 1% directly to GDP, its broader economic impact is far more substantial. Agriculture as a whole accounts for roughly 30% of Ghana's GDP, and pineapple stands out as the leading horticultural export crop, contributing about 40% of total horticultural export earnings. This makes it a critical source of foreign exchange for the country. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Afternoon Business Review, where we tell you what moves money and markets. My name is Nanajaman Prempa. This is how we start the show for you today. Let's check with the commodity prices. And crude oil is selling at $75 per barrel. Gold is being pegged at $4,209 per ounce, and cocoa is being priced at $4,415 per metric ton, I should say. And the exchange market from the Bank of Ghana this afternoon, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 22 pesos, and is buying at 11 cedis 20 pesos. The pound is going for 14 cedis 83 pesos and is buying at 14 cedis 81 pesos, whereas the euro is going for 12 cedis 86 pesos and is buying at 12 cedis 85 pesos. Please note these rates could be slightly different at the various forex bureau and banks. Now let's check out how far your stocks are doing on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and Kaylee Dazi of Data Bank has more.
Its bullish streak, closing with 4 laggards outweighing 2 gainers. The top gainers were Casapreco and Cowbank, while ETI, MTN Ghana, Societe Generale, and Total Energies declined. Driven by the price moves, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index declines were year-to-date return of 66.54%, while the Databank Stock Index declines were year-to-date return of 85.44%. MTN Ghana and GTB Bank traded the most, accounting for 95.05% of the market turnover after trading 3.48 million shares across 23 counters. For Databank Research, Caitlin Dazi.
So that was Caitlin Dazi with stock updates. It's now time for a big conversation, and today Nana Oye Ankrah, your regular host, sat with the Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, George Abredu Otu, and you heard from 12 Life that the company warned that out of 100 warehouses, only 11 are functional, and this and many more is contained in the interview. So right about now, let's dash into a big conversation and bring you excerpts from the interview Oye Ankrah had with the Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, George Abredu Otu.
Good afternoon to our listeners and viewers on Facebook. This is the Afternoon Business Review. My name is Oye Ankrah. Today for our big conversation, we are having a discussion about food security and how the National Food Buffer Stock Company has been able to Good afternoon to our listeners and viewers on Facebook. This is the Afternoon Business Review. My name is Oye Ankrah. Today for our big conversation, we are having a discussion about food security and how the National Food Buffer Stock Company has been able to turn around its financials. I'm doing this discussion with the Chief Executive of the company, George Abredu Otu. Yes. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the Afternoon Business Review on Class 91.3 FM.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me.
Great, it's great to have you on the show.
Yes.
Your financials have totally changed
Yes.
within a period of 1 year.
Yes.
In 2024,
Yes.
you recorded, or the company recorded some losses, 19 million cedis.
Yes.
And then in 2025, same time, we are seeing 91 million cedis
Yes.
as profit.
Yes.
How did you do that?
Well, thank you very much for this question. And it's reorganization. You know, when I took over, I had to take a broad look at the company and see what we needed to do in order to turn around the fortunes of the company. And this, with the support of my management, we put in place measures. For instance, the internal audit department, which was practically non-functional when I took over, we had to make sure we recruited a well-qualified person to man it for us and make sure we gave him all the support and all the accoutrements that he needed in order to perform his job well. I also recruited a well-qualified procurement head who is so wonderful to help us with our procurement activities. We strengthened the finance department. We strengthened internal controls. We make sure we cut costs and maximize our revenue. That's what we did. And the support from my management was tremendous. Everybody was brought on board. You, as a CEO, you sell your vision to them, let everybody buy into it, and move everybody along. So internal changes and controls are practically what led to this wonderful turnaround.
Internal restructuring.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you had to encounter during that phase? Obviously, it wouldn't be as like all smooth throughout in restructuring a company like this.
Yeah, thank you. But I think the support I had from my management, the heads of department, is wonderful. You understand? And like I said at the beginning, if you are able to carry them along, let them buy into your vision. You understand? Let them understand that this is a government institution. We have to make sure everything is above board. Wastage is cut to the minimum, and then make sure our regional offices furnish and refurbish all our regional offices. It may interest you to know that for all the regional managers, we bought brand new pickouts for them in order for them to move to problem areas, report it to me for us to meet. We meet, my management team, we meet every Thursday. Every Thursday, I call it our cabinet meeting days. We meet every Thursday to listen to advice and suggestions from my heads of department, people here who've worked here over the years, and they know what the company is about. So tightening internal control, avoiding wastage, unnecessary travels. I mean, I don't travel unnecessarily. If it won't benefit to the company, I don't embark on any industry. So you cut down costs and maximize your revenue.
Right.
That's what we did.
Right. So that is institutional restructuring.
Right.
On the field, what did you do? You are mandated to ensure that warehouses are functioning and others. So
Yes.
as you did for the institution or us in the organization,
Yes.
internally, what else did you do out there on the field to ensure that the growth that you sought or aimed at was achieved?
Right, thank you. You know, buffer stock was set up way back in 2010, precisely on the 11th of March 2010 by the late Professor Atamos. May he so rest in peace. With one clear mandate at that time, that we managed the National Food Reserve, and that did by moving out into the field at the end of the farming season to mop up all the excess grains in the market, to ensure that there's at least a minimum guaranteed price for the farmers, to avoid post-harvest losses and all that. So before you can do that, you know, we can't just sit in Accra here and do whatever we did. So that we did by, first of all, ensuring that the warehouses that we needed to store the produce, everything, are in good shape, you know. And it may interest you to know that all over the country, there are warehouses dotted all over. But the state in which they are in is the problem. So we had to look internally, look for money to repair some of these and make sure we buy the produce and keep them there. And then in 2017, when free senior high school was instituted in this by the past government, they added the feeding of senior high schools to our mandate. So practically our mandate became two, the national reserve and then school feeding. And so far, that's where the challenge is. We've been able to do it well, and I'm sure you realize that on the school front, there's absolute calm. Nobody is making noise. Times were when people came to picket here, students were complaining about availability of food, both quality and quantity. And so far, it's good. That's all going. So there's absolute peace.
Right. What did you do differently with the feeding of the senior high schools such that we haven't had any complaints yet?
Yeah. Previously, when I inherited this company, what they used to do was to dump the goods in what they call centers, distribution centers. And then the headmasters will have to find their own transport to go and then cut the goods to their various schools. We decided to go straight to the schools. The secondary school, the free senior high schools, together with the TVET institutions. We go directly to them this time. You understand? And it helps. It took the problem off the head of the headmasters, because in the past, they were supposed to provide their own transport to go to the so-called distribution centers and then cut the goods to the schools. And they needed to be reimbursed for the cost of transportation, but that wasn't done. It created a lot of problems. So now that we have taken this upon ourselves and making sure that we send the goods directly to them, it's brought a lot of changes.
Right.
I had time to go around the whole country. I've been to the Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, Northeast, Tamale, Ashanti, Eastern. And it's wonderful. If you go and see the quantity of food that the students have, you will marvel. Now their problem is where to store them. Then I have a way of going about it. Someone were complaining about a storage space, to the sense that they've converted some classrooms and dormitories into storage, which is not good enough. So far, I assure the headmasters that it's not going to happen again. So this time around, we'll do it better together with my management team.
I see you have traveled across the country. You have been in the field.
Yeah.
How many warehouses do we have, and how many are operational, in good condition?
Yeah, the good condition, those are the ones that we are using now. There's one at Georgia in the Volta region. We have Ashanti region, BRC, Bono region, Bono East, Tamale, Yendi, two places in the northern region. And then Upper East, Upper Western, those are the ones that we are using now. And they are full. We've already filled them to the brim with food. Although the farmers are still complaining that they don't see the presence of buffer stock in buying their goods. But so far, the small number of warehouses that we came to meet, we've been able to repair them and then put them to good use. But otherwise, the whole country, even the previous government started 88 warehouses, one district, one warehouse. All those, they're all in the system, apart from the old one, apart from the Kwame Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah also built some silos and warehouses. They are all in the state of disrepair. For all these years, we haven't taken the trouble to repair them, put them into proper use. And when you say a warehouse is not just the building, you understand? You see the building, people tell me, but there's a warehouse there. No, it's food that we are going to keep for people to consume. It's food that we're going to use to feed secondary schools. You have to make sure you keep it in good condition. You have to make sure the nutritional value is maintained. You have to make sure it's wholesome before you can release it onto the market or give it to the schools. And one of the things that I did that I forgot to tell you is the recruitment of a food safety head. Now we have a functional food safety department. They go around all the warehouses every now and then to check the state of the food and report it to me. They check the humidity, the temperature, aflatoxin levels, and all that, and then give me the report. Where there's any problem, we quickly move in and make sure we resolve the problems.
Would you be able to share some statistics with me? How many warehouses do you have in your records, and how many are operational?
The operational ones, I can count them on my finger.
How many?
It's about 10 or 11. Or
Just about 11.
Yes,
Just
just a
about
small
11
number. But
warehouses.
otherwise, the whole country, almost every district has a warehouse, except that the state in which they are is nothing to write home about. We need money. We need funding to, to bring them up to level so we can.
So we are looking at more than 50 warehouses.
Ooh, more than 100.
More than 100 warehouses. And just 11 are operational.
Yes, that we have been able to use our own money to repair them in order to go into the field and then buy the produce of the farmers. Last year, His Excellency, the President, John Mahama, announced that they were going to give us 100 million to at least start with it. We all know that 100 million is just a drop in the ocean, but it's a good beginning. Granted the fact that this is the first time this National Food Reserve is being done. It hasn't been done before. We started last year. So it's a feather in our cap.
Oh, can you elaborate on it? What exactly?
National Food Reserve.
Yeah.
The World Food Program, and there's that every country should have reserve. You should have food in your warehouse as a reserve in case of any calamity. All right? If there's floods, fire, anything, any calamity you can think about, and people are in dire straits, the country or the government should be able to fall on stored grains or food to feed the people temporarily when the time arises. And also, we are also supposed to maintain prices and stabilize prices and to control inflation. So when we keep the food in the warehouse for 6 months, 1 year, there's no problem. We are supposed to release it onto the market to control prices, especially in the lean season, so that prices do not escalate unnecessarily. So that's what we do. And
but is that not your mandate?
It
That has
is.
always been your mandate.
Yeah, so that wasn't done.
So is it new, really?
It was a Monday, but it wasn't done. It wasn't done. There was no, I can tell you on authority that there was zero food reserve in Ghana.
We didn't have?
We didn't have it. It was zero. We didn't have
When,
you see, if you take the West African region, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, all these people, they have food reserve. Ghana, zero.
we didn't have any stock.
No. We didn't have any stock for national reserve. So
As of early 2024, we didn't have.
we didn't have 2025, early 2025. I came into office in 2025.
Yes, early 2025, yes.
There was no this is
Food
the first
stock.
time. No.
Wow.
So we are
sitting
doing
on
it
the
for the
time
first time.
bomb then.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very bad. So because of that, the World Food Program is coming to our aid. As we speak now, they've taken over our Tamale warehouse. They are refurbishing it, building it from scratch and attaching a laboratory to the warehouse for us, so that I can sit in my office here, click on the computer and see what is happening in Tamale. They want to digitalize everything for us, so give us the right chemicals to test for all these parameters that I talked about, aflatoxin, temperature, humidity, etc. It should even be able to tell us when we need to dispose of the food in order to maintain the nutritional value.
Okay, so farmers are still complaining about post-harvest losses.
Yes.
They're saying that they are not getting buyers,
Yes.
yet you were there. We have the warehouses, non-functional warehouses,
Warehouses,
I might say. Is it that you don't have the capacity to buy? And I know that, the warehouses are not there, but is it a matter of warehouses that are not functioning or not, in a good shape, or you do not have the capacity to buy from the farmers?
Two things. We don't have the money. I told you, we were giving 100 million to start with. Last year, November, Honorable Atufo said in the budget that they were going to give us a further 200. So together, 300. And I want to tell you that if you want to do proper mopping up, proper food reserve, we need not less than 1.5 billion. And we have only 300. So, like I said, it's just a drop in the ocean. But I'm happy because this is the first time something of the sort is happening. You know, if you have even done 100 over the years, by this time, we would have been somewhere. So this is a modest and a good beginning. So I'm happy about it. The farmers are still complaining because of the amount of money that we are using to buy. All these monies that as I said, almost everything. Go fill the warehouses. If you have time, you can go around. At the appropriate time, I'll go around with the media to go and see what we have been able to do. And apart from that, the warehouse, if you buy them, assuming the government gave me all the 1.5 billion that I needed, and I bought it, where am I going to keep the food? So we have to think about the warehouses. And that is what we've embarked upon. And the World Food Program has seen the sense in what we are doing. They've come to our aid. What is all this for us free of charge?
What is your plan in getting these warehouses fixed?
Yeah, when I first took over and I realized there was a problem like that, I commissioned AESL to go around the whole country, look at the state, and give us the estimate. So we have a fair idea of how much it will cost to refurbish or renovate any particular warehouse. So we did that. And so far, as we speak, apart from those that we've already filled, there are others that contractors are working on as we speak.
Right. Now, let's go to your food security.
Right.
You said you have the World Food Organization coming to your aid and helping you to restructure some of the warehouses and all of that.
Yes.
If there was a pandemic right now, are we safe in terms of food?
Yes. Because already now I can say we have about 100,000 bags of grains in all our warehouses. You understand? About 100,000. So if there should be flood somewhere or this thing, we should be able to at least go to the aid of the victims for a business. So if in case of any calamity, I think we are
I'm talking about national. If there is a disaster, a national disaster.
Give me an example. What kind of national disaster that will affect all of us?
I mean, majority of us. Majority of us.
We should be able to do, but I don't foresee what at all can happen to affect everybody at the same time. Most of the time, calamities are happening at places.
You mean small places, but it can. No, but I mean,
even then, we are on the right track. We can do it. We can do it.
So Ghanaians should not be worried.
They shouldn't be worried at all.
Right. Okay.
We are working very hard. We are on the right track, and that is showing in our figures. All right.
Speaking of figures,
right.
This is like you have set the standard.
Right.
What is your target for 2026? So by end of 2026, what are the figures you are aiming to see?
In terms of what?
In terms of profit, in terms of your assets, in terms of taxes to the state.
Right. This year we did a pre-tax profit of 91.7. We've paid a tax of 20.3 to government, and then we are in September. We'll have our first annual general meeting. For the first time in the history of this company, we're going to have our annual general meeting where the board will decide how much dividend we have to pay to government or not. It's a feather in our cap. This year in our budget, we budgeted to make a profit of about 126 million. From this thing. So
from 91 to 126 million.
Even that one, the 126 will be after tax. This 91 is before tax. Do you understand it? This 91.7 is before tax. So if you take 20.3 million from it, the remaining is what we are retaining as earnings, and from which we will pay dividends if the board so decides. It's not our to me to decide, to sit in my office and decide that I want to pay.
Right.
So it's the board together with the shareholders, which in this case is the government. 100%. NAFCO is 100% owned by government.
126 million is your target. We have done the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Looking at your figures, truly and honestly, do you think
we are on
you
track.
will meet it?
You are on track.
Okay.
We are on track to achieving it. You're on track.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
At the first quarter, the second quarter will end of June.
Yeah.
This month, and then they will prepare another management. That's it for me to say. But so far, so good. And all these figures I'm mentioning to you are audited for externally. External auditors have been here to spend close to 2 weeks or something to verify our books, to authenticate whatever figures we are churning out.
Right.
And so far, so good. They've signed it. We've sent our copies to SIGA. That's why SIGA is all over the place.
Commending you.
Commending us.
Commending
because
you.
they've realized the good work that we've done.
Right.
Together with the board and then my management. I pay tribute to my management. I met some wonderful group of people in this company. It's unbelievable. And then I just strengthened it by employing head of food safety, internal audit, procurement, and other. Procurement department was non-functional in this company.
Right.
And that's we don't procure anything without going through the right processes. I tell my people that I don't want to breach any law. So that tomorrow when I'm not here, they tell me to come and answer questions. I don't want to do that. I don't want to
It's good you have that in mind. Yes. The accountability is key in governance.
It's wonderful.
So yes, if you do it right,
it's all part of the reset agenda.
It is.
The reset.
Right. So finally, sir, I want to look at the produce that we have. You mentioned that you have stock. Run us through the produce that you have. What produce do you have in high quantity?
So far, for National Food Reserve, don't let us confuse the two. The school feeding is different.
No, I'm not talking about
the senior high school feeding is different. For National Food Reserve, so far, it's a beginning. We are doing rice, maize, and gari.
Okay.
So and those are the commodities that we have in stock.
And your highest will be, the largest stock you have will be rice or rice?
Rice followed by maize, and then gari just this thing.
You buy from the local producers.
Everything is local.
Yeah.
Everything is local.
And what is the relationship and collaboration like? Because we still complain. Rice specifically.
So far, so good. For the National Reserve, nobody can tell me that we have 1 grain of foreign rice in it. We don't. It's all local for the National Reserve. It's the school feeding, the one that we used to feed the schools, that sometimes people complain that they buy local and then smuggle some foreign bags of rice in there because of the price. Incidentally, the price of imported rice is lower than on the market. So sometimes, but we warn our people, the people that we give the contract to supply to the school, if you go and supply foreign rice and you are caught, you will catch it. We will delist you, remove you, we will not give you any contract again. And the extent to which people want the contract is enough deterrent for them not to supply foreign rice.
So nobody has been caught yet?
No, not yet. And then, so what we do is we've empowered the headmasters, the bursars, and the storekeepers to ensure that rice that is supplied to your school, make sure it's only local and not foreign rice. If you also admit foreign rice into your warehouse and we see, you will have a question to answer. Right. And so far, so good. So far, so good.
Right. Thank you very much. So your final words to Ghanaians,
I think I'll talk to my farmers. I'm also a farmer myself, so I know what it means to produce and not to get bias. So they should have patience. I hear all the sort of people send me videos and there's a complaining that buffer store, come and see, we have rice, we have this, we are not getting bias and all that. They should have patience. I'm sure from next year onwards, we won't have any problem like this because we are repairing the warehouses. We have a good number of them that we've given out for contract and they are working on them. So please, Ghanaian farmers, especially rice and maize farmers, and to some extent, gari producers, please have patience. We are repairing our warehouses. We are making sure they are in good condition so we can store them properly in order not to cause any financial loss to the state by buying rice, storing them poorly, and then at the end of the day, no, how do we say it? No value.
People cannot consume them.
Yes, no value for money.
Yeah.
So they should have patience. Small, small. This is a modest beginning. We are learning. We are making mistakes as we go along, and we are correcting them. So very soon we'll be very perfect, and they will see us.
Right.
But now, we've zoned the whole country. We've zoned the whole country, and we've given some contract to people to go and buy. Those are the people who are buying and turning them over to us, and we are putting into our warehouse. So everything shall be well. It shall be well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. George Abredu Otu.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the Chief Executive Officer for the National Buffer Stock Company.
Yes.
This has been the Afternoon Business Review, and this is our big conversation. We'll come your way again, same time tomorrow. Do stay with Class 91.3 FM. My name is Oye Walton Ankrah. Have a good afternoon.